Job here this evening, by the way. Thank you, Risa, for inviting me. So I am supposed to take what you're telling me and critique this and come up with some sort of thing for you to do and go back with, right? So, Musa's story, does that relate to some of your challenges with your projects? Okay, so he gave us all sorts of things there to work with. Let us pull out some of the main things in terms of challenges that you could relate to with his experience. And let's see how we could probably try and solve those problems. So, based on what he said and based on your own experience over the last 5-6 months, I wrote down 2 things here that popped out to me in terms of all of you have your own individual lives and routine and school and work and whatever. And now you have to meet as a group. Some of you are in different islands in different parts of the country. So that in itself is a challenge, kind of coordinating people's time, coordinating people's activities to all meet at a time to discuss certain things. So that is a challenge. And then general, I guess, motivation, because if you're not able to execute or implement the things that you want to in the time that you want to, you may feel a little bit demotivated. But the most important thing to remember is this is your first kind of attempt at implementing a project. So these things are totally fine and totally expected. You don't need to be too hard on yourselves that you didn't do what you were supposed to do or you didn't come up with a project that you could really present today. That's okay, because the whole point is to just go through the process of trying to implement or create something, right? So lots of times when we're designing projects, we are thinking of the big picture, right? But sometimes it's very difficult to actually create a smaller project to address a big picture thing. So you actually have to design small, little baby projects to help you build your experience and to help you gain understanding in terms of how to address a bigger issue. So if the issue may be mental health or social, addressing some sort of social issue, then start at a very small level. So maybe right in the masjid, if there is a children's group or something, a youth group, you could start there. You could start talking to them about what are some of, now you're not going to go there and lecture them, You're going to engage them in conversation. You pick a topic, whatever topic it is, and you start engaging the youth in terms of coming up with ideas or trying to make them think of things differently. Maybe working with a small group and implementing a small activity. And you could just start with those little things. And usually that's how projects kind of evolve. I don't know if that was helpful at all. Yeah? Okay, so the point there is to start small. Do small interventions, small mini projects before you start thinking of some big giant project.
So, with regard to what you're saying, perhaps the issue of just raising the consciousness of people in the youth group about what are mental health issues, and so they become a lot.
Right, so that's it. So you start, yeah.
If they are.
Yeah, so you use the small group as kind of your starting point for discussion and raising awareness, because I guess the issue is lack of awareness, lack of understanding. So you start, and if you're targeting youth, for example, then you can start at that small level, or even in your own household, or even along your street where you live, if there's a community center, or you have a group of friends even, and you start raising awareness on whatever issue that you want to. Right? Okay, so who is going next? So you are presenting for your group, or yourself as an individual?
For the group.
For the group, okay.
Assalamu alaikum. I will be presenting our position in terms of our project from our last training to now. We developed a youth leadership program which has approximately 20 candidates aged between 18 to 30. The objective basically is to equip youths to take our responsibility and challenges of society, as we are aware that among the many challenges are in Ghana that there are a great deal of crimes, alcohol, drug abuse, and one of the ways to deal with this situation is to have youths more involved in religious activities or activities that can take them away from the street, rather than being having leisure time with, how should I put it, peers that are not appropriate. So by equip them with the right knowledge and the tool as to take on responsibility through this training, we are hoping that within the next 2 to 3 years, that these youths from Barbies can actually be role models and at the same time take up pivotal role within the mass and the community as to further train other youths in terms of taking responsibilities. Among our many challenges is our members who are actually linked with this project in terms of time to plan and organize the project is difficult in terms that a lot of us are working. So what we use is the WhatsApp group, and it's working wonders in the sense that we don't physically reach, but we do all our planning basically on WhatsApp group. All our members on the leadership training program are also in a group, so we can chat, and after each presentation we come back on the group and we iron out any fine-tuning that we need to home in on, whereas we can correct any shortcomings. For instance, the first time we had a little issue in venue, and as we move on, we correct those little errors or little areas that we can make it more comfortable for the members in terms of having a more conducive environment to learning. In terms of resource, we using some of the material from the leadership program, the same module, and also we integrate experience of other individuals who went through the training and also who have a fair amount of knowledge within society and have experience and responsibility in terms of job and somehow elevate themselves to a somewhat respectable position. So we use that as a motivating factor to get the youths more attached. As of to date, we have already completed 3 sessions.
Okay.
When we go back, the next session is scheduled. I think it's the 28th, if I remember. In August. Each session, we have each session once a month. And we are hoping, as I mentioned earlier, to carry it on maybe about 2 to 3 years, because it will be, it's well spread out. And we choose members that are basically equipped or educationally to take our responsibility. Most of the members from the group are university graduate or presently going to the university. So there is a great potential for this project actually to come out fruitful, inshallah, we hope that the thing will come up with.
Okay.
And so far, there are a lot of positive in terms of the present and the future of the project.
Okay, thank you. So, so you all are going to give him some feedback. Because it seems that a lot of work has gone into his project. I think we could give him a round of applause for the hard work that the group has been doing.
In addition to that, right, we have our project in Guyana. I'd just like to thank and appreciate for the knowledge that I've gained. When I returned back to my country, my community, I was able to develop at my mosque. We were able to establish a group, and we were able to put up a gym at the masjid.
Okay.
We formed a group, we put up a gym, and we have a lab. So now a computer lab. So now we have a group through the knowledge that we have that we work in having youths from the community who are basically in drugs, whatever. They now in the masjid. We have a gym and we have a computer lab. So I'd like to thank you for some of those ideas.
Okay.
We've established.
Very good. So, in terms of some points that appeal to you from his sharing of experience, anything? Right. So, one of the challenges he expressed similar to before is in terms of time management, and the solution was creating using WhatsApp as